Good afternoon, everyone, or should I say, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Big Boss Calvin 83. Today I want to discuss my frustrations of the world. Why do I gotta keep saying the same thing over and over again, which it's beyond me, and it's blatantly obvious as common sense. People always say that true force loneliness does not exist. But my thing is, you stupid motherfuckers who say, you stupid motherfucking retards that always say that true force loneliness does not exist. Let me tell you, let me tell you something. If it doesn't exist, then why are 80% of the women chasing 20% of the men? If true force loneliness doesn't exist, you have a huge disparity of men who are being single and being forced to be lonely without a mate. I don't even know what to say. How can you have a huge disparity of men who are forced to be alone and be single when they don't have no say in it? I'm going to say that again so you can get it for your fucking thick head. Thick heads. How in the fuck can you have very huge disparity of men who are forced to be single and lonely without a mate, without love and companionship, and you see rapes going on, you see women being harmed, being killed, and being slaughtered to death by serial killers? If you look at serial killers and how their lives was, if you look at people, particularly guys, shooting up schools, shooting up workplaces, their former workplace, or shooting up random people in the mall or in the streets, killing predominantly mostly women. Why is that happening? If you have a huge portion of men on the planet, in the world, especially in America, live in true force loneliness. If it doesn't fucking exist, then why is there a gender war and why there's so much division among men and women? You follow what I'm saying? If true force loneliness does not exist, why is feminism created this divide between men and women? And why do women have the advantages of the dating scene and the advantages of the school system, the advantages of having social programs catered to them? The government is on their side. Law enforcement is on their side. You follow me? Why is it do women have all the advantages and don't hold all the cards and the laws favor women? You don't think that's not done by chance? That was not done by accident. That was not done by accident. It was done on purpose by the powers that be. They place women on the pedestal while suppressing the men down, is so society can get a hold of it's easy to influence the women and the children, because women are been taught and have been programmed to be emotional, not logical, like men are. Women are not emotional creatures like they claim to be. They've been programmed and think that they're emotional. Women can use logic to justify, when it comes to doing some shady shit, doing wrongdoing, they use logic and rationale. They rationalize the wrongdoing and use logic to justify why they did what they did. True force loneliness is real. If it wasn't fucking real, then I wouldn't be living it. I would have somebody in my life. Just like other men would have somebody in their fucking life. You want to have a huge portion of millennials being fucking single, especially men. You have a few women living loneliness, living true forced loneliness, but no one talks about that because most women are desired and been placed on the pedestal and have all the choice and all the say so on who they choose to be with and who they not, and choose who they don't want to be with. Why do you have so many of these dating coaches coaching men, and you have men spinning, and you got these PUA shady snake oil pickup artists coaching men on how to get women, how to change themselves instead of being themselves? Why do you got men spending money buying these fancy latest name brand clothes, buying these fancy cars, working hard to be in a certain income bracket just to get a female in their life? Are women doing that? No, they're not. Majority of them ain't doing that shit. Pick up PUA, which is CIA, MRA. Let me tell you something, how to connect the dots. MRA, PUA, and CIA. One and the same. You didn't know that. You wouldn't have the pickup artist industry, and you wouldn't have these fucking dating coaches making millions of dollars off a fucking problem that does not fucking exist. Excuse me. It is fucking real. You wouldn't have women, a portion of men who getting so fed up, who don't want to be bothered by women, and don't want to be associated with women, and don't want to approach women, and don't want to talk to women. You wouldn't have women living by this foolish ideology, well, I don't have to approach men, they can approach me. Having a false sense of entitlement, thinking that men owe them a living and owe them shit. It's common sense. You know, it's common sense. To those who want to be in denial, why are you guys, particularly the guys, are so ashamed to talk about this? Why are you guys so in denial that true force loneliness exists? Why are you so afraid to look into anything? You know, it's like, do you have to actually live true force loneliness for you to understand true force loneliness? Is that how it goes? I don't think you have to. I think you can learn from other people's I think you can learn from other people's sufferings and misfortunes and learn from their plight and understand their plight. It's very easy. You don't have to be in a fucking wheelchair to understand, hey, I don't want to be fucking paralyzed. You understand what I'm saying? You know that if you've seen people who are paralyzed from the waist down and are forced to sit in a wheelchair and use the wheelchair to get around, and they can't walk, and some can't even talk, and they're crippled and shit. You know, and you appreciate the fact. I hope some of y'all, and most of y'all, appreciate the fact that, hey, I'm glad I can walk. I'm glad I'm mobile. I can do things that I can enjoy that I take for granted. Do you have to be a so-called black person, particularly a black man, to understand racism and Caucasian supremacy? Do you have to actually be black to understand that? To understand racism, to experience racism and understand that? Or a non-Caucasian person to understand that you live in a world that you are judged by the color of your skin. If you don't have pale skin, if you're not European descent, if you're not Caucasian, you know you're at a huge disadvantage. And you have to conduct yourself a certain way so you can hopefully not be slaughtered and killed and worry about facing discrimination and injustice. You know, do you have to understand what it's like to be a poor person? If you're rich, how? I mean, let me say it like this: do you have to be poor and broke to understand that poverty exists? But people can relate. Most people can understand those things. But when it comes to true force loneliness, most of you guys, the guys, most of you men, you pussy ass men, gentle motherfuckers who are undercover, want to be in denial of this shit. Y'all say it don't exist, and your cop out is because there's no solutions. When I have given solutions, and all my I have done like 480 videos, probably like 500 videos total, if you count my old videos that I've done in 2009, talking about this. But most of y'all don't want to look. Y'all don't want to do the work. Y'all don't want to look nothing up. You don't want to study anything. But you just want to do whatever the hell you want to do. You don't want to fucking change. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. True force loneliness is real. You don't have to live something to understand that it actually does exist. I don't have to understand that there's people who are homeless, because I see homeless people in my area. But but just because I'm not homeless, that does not mean that homelessness doesn't exist. You understand? That's like a woman telling you that she's been raped. And I tell her, well, you know, not all men are like that, and rape doesn't exist because I've never been raped. What kind of ignorance do you motherfuckers have? See, you know, it's fucking ridiculous. You don't have to actually, do you have to actually live and experience pain and suffering to understand that it does exist? I see homeless people. I've been homeless before. Even before I was homeless, I knew homelessness existed. There are people who have severe illnesses like HIV and AIDS. Even though I don't have it, I never had it, I understand it still exists. You following on what I'm saying? So you know damn well true force loneliness exists. All you have to do is study the New World Order. The New World Order. All you got to do is study feminism. All you got to do is study socialism, communism, racism, and Caucasian supremacy. The corruption of the government. All you got to do is study how Rome. All you have to do. I'll give you a learning curve. Study Babylon, the fall of Babylon, how, and it's not just Babylon that has fallen down. The fall of Babylon and the fall of Rome. All people got to do is study their history. You know what I mean? All people have to do is study the history of how the world works. Everything recycles. Everything repeats itself. History is repeating itself right now. But you motherfuckers don't want to learn shit and don't want to look into anything because you've been told not to look up the truth. Look at your school system. You have been misinformed and dumbed the fuck down. And those who are highly educated have been super dumbed down. I don't believe in such thing as a dumbed up, but I believe you have been. But I'll tell you one thing: those who are highly so-called educated have been misinformed and miseducated and super dumbed down because they're super stupid. The purpose of education is to be intelligent. Well, that's the purpose of it. But to tell you the truth about education, it's not about intelligence. It's about how to work a job and conform, but not be your own person and be independent from the system. Excuse me. It's really simple. All you people have to do is actually study feminism, socialism, communism, racism, the New World Order. Study Caucasian supremacy too. Study how these Zionist Jews are fucking us up in the ass and raping us without no damn Vaseline. you gotta do is, even the powers that be have wrote books talking about how they want to take over the world and how they want to have one world government and make us permanent slaves and permanent cattle. They see us as spinnable. That's why they had these fucking wars to kill us for population reduction. The gay movement and the feminist movement was designed to destabilize society. Even the so-called civil rights movement for that was supposed to help black people was designed to fuck us up, fuck us in the ass, and create this division. And actually, black people are worse off than ever because of the civil rights movement. Because we were told that integration was a good thing, when actually it was our fucking downfall because we stopped working together and stopped loving and respecting each other. All you gotta do is study your history. You want to know the solution to ending true forced loneliness, to stopping the new world order, to stopping this race war, this gender war, and stopping communism, socialism, racism, sexism, and all kinds of ism and communism. Study your history, your real history. It is so simple. All you gotta do is look up your phone, go on your laptop, go on your tablet, look up the damn truth through Google or any search engine, and it will tell you the real history. Don't listen to these fools that tell you, don't believe anything you read on the internet. It's not true. Don't listen to them assholes. They're stupid. Because watching TV and all this government social engineer controlled media is designed to mislead you. The only way to beat true force loneliness, the new world order, to stop government corruption is, like I said, study your history. Study the purpose of feminism. Study how the civil rights movement got infiltrated. Yeah. The gay movement, the gay agenda. Study that. Study the powers that be. Yeah. And who they are, and identify them. The Zionist Jews, the elite Caucasians, and the rest of these other elite people who are non-Caucasian, but they are sellouts anyway. But you follow what I'm saying. All you gotta do is study the elite people and understand that how the United States is really not a country; it's a corporation. Study the slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Study that shit. The only solution to change this problem is going to have to start with you as the person. You're going to have to deprogram yourself. You're going to have to change the way you think. Stop worrying about what other people is and ain't doing. You're going to have to change. Alright? You're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to be your own leader. Stop relying on other people. Stop praying. Stop relying on this false God to get you out of your fucked up bullshit that you're in. It's going to have to start with you. You're going to have to get this knowledge. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to know your history. You're going to have to know how to control your damn dollar. You're going to have to search for the truth. You're going to have to change and deprogram yourself and reteach yourself and re-educate yourself on the truth. Not the lies, but the truth that you should have been told a long time ago. That is my only solutions. That you have to change. Not nobody else. You have to change. You have to lead by example. You have to stop treating people like shit. You got to stop thinking that you're better than somebody else when you're not. When we're all equal. You have to check people who are disrespectful and rude and mean to other people and even mean to you. You have to, motherfucker, stand up for yourself. You feel me? Think about what I said. Do that. I'm out. Peace.